welcome to my channel. I hope you guys have been doing well. Today's video is basically a recap of what has happened in my life for the last, I would say 3-4 months. I have my notes here. So in March 2026, I was laid off from the job I had spent the last 6 years at. And it was a Monday morning, a little bit before 10 a.m. I should have knew things were a little off because the night before, they always say your body knows before your mind does. Prior to that Monday, the week before, I had took the entire week off. I was on vacation. I was resting, sleeping like a baby. No issues with sleep whatsoever. That Sunday night, I could not fall asleep. Despite taking my sleep medication, I was still restless. That should have been my first sign. So I got up that Monday, just more tired than usual, and I started my day. I was going through emails. I had a really big project I had been working on, and it was towards the end of it, and I finally got the approval I needed. And a little bit before 10 o'clock, I got a meeting invite added to my calendar for like a little bit after 10 o'clock. And I was like, usually this person tells me when they're scheduling a meeting, they even ask like, hey, are you busy during this time? And I respond like, yeah, or no. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And then after I accepted the meeting, she was like, hey, can you join now? So I happened right before I joined the meeting. I don't know if you know, like it's the same way on all teams. You can see who's all in the meeting. So initially on the invite, it was just me and her, this person. However, when I looked and was ready to join the call, it was me, her, and then someone from HR. And yeah, I was like, okay, I got an idea about what this is. I got an idea. So yeah, I joined the call. I was like, hey, how's it going? And like the supervisor that was above my supervisor at that time was like boo-hoo crying and basically was telling me, my position had been phased out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. My naive self was like, do I have at least a week to finish out like what I've been working on? They're like, no, it's effective today. Oh, I was like, oh, okay. Sounds good. So yeah, they basically locked my computer out. It was like maybe about 30 minutes before they locked my computer. But in that time frame, the only emotion that was going through my brain was relief. As soon as I got off that call, I was like, thank God. Thank God. I got off that call. I looked at my email because I was like, okay, they're about to shut my computer off. I need to get some contact information from people that I only know through emails, specifically my mentorship program. The person who runs that program quickly got her email, a few more organizations, their emails, because I was actually slated to speak at a conference later on this year. Of course, that didn't happen. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I had a clean cut with that. Also, I was slated to mentor another Black woman at another organization. So I wanted to make sure that I let that organization know that, hey, I would not be able to mentor her because I am no longer a part of the organization that I work for. So those were the first few things I did once I got the news. And the next thing I did was text my team. I texted my team and I was like, hey, it was great working with you all. If you all need anything at any time, please feel free to reach out. And yeah. And then little did I know that the majority of my team had also got the same news that day. So we were kind of all just like in shock and kind of just sharing each other's like, yeah, if anything, you need anything, you need any references, et cetera, reach out to me. So after that day, I went into the office because I was ready. I was like, I'm going to return my stuff as soon as possible. I'm going to give you guys back this laptop, back anything any documents you need. Here, take it back. My work phone, take it. And I was packing my bags and boxes. I actually had, funny note, I actually had packed my boxes up a few weeks ago because the month prior, my direct supervisor was also let go. So once she got let go, I was like, obviously, we know what's about to happen. So I was like, give or take a few weeks to a month. And it's going to happen to the rest of the department. And it did. So most of my stuff was already packed. All I had to do is basically just put it in the cart, let HR go through them to make sure I didn't have any sensitive information for the organization. And I was on the way. I was out of there. And I would say that first week was kind of like a blur, to be honest. I was just extremely thankful for the fact that I had family to depend on. I had friends, I had community, I had people that I had gained a friendship with throughout my time in the industry that I worked in. And they offered a lot of support and were sending me jobs, connecting me with individuals within their own organization, inviting me to events, to network, etc. So I'm really extremely thankful for the community that I had and have, continue to have. After kind of the dust settled, I just started resting. And I started just trying to return back to the person that I was before I joined that organization. I'm not going to go into too many details about it, but that was a long 6 years of being at that organization. Corporate is not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart, especially for Black women. And I went through a lot there as an organization, a lot. So once I was now not a part of that organization, I was like, wow, I can finally breathe. I can finally rest. And I rested. I did a lot of reflection. I went to parks. I went walking, running. I picked up a lot of hobbies that I had basically shoved to the side because of work, like pottery, drawing, playing video games. I actually started at playing video games. That right there, it may seem small or insignificant, but to me, I grew up playing video games, me and my cousin, and just the ability to get back into something that just basically just filled my inner child was something that I was just extremely grateful that I can get back into. And I actually started a gaming channel. It's called, I believe I called it Well Rested Gaming. I'm not sure, but I'll have the link in the bio. But I'm able to just rest, relax, and do what I want to do. Um, so during that first few weeks, I was resting. I did kind of start looking around for jobs, not too deeply during the first few weeks, because I was like, I'm resting. I need a break. I need to get my bearings. My emotions were up and down, up and down. I was like, no, I need a clear mind, clear mindset. So during my resting period, I also conducted a financial audit on myself. The organization, I was privileged enough at my previous organization to have a 6-figure job, very well compensated position. And I'm the type of person, I save a lot. I save a lot. So I was like, I'm going to be good for the next year or so if I don't have a job or find a job. So I was good. Like all bills were going to be paid. I was good. I was like, I'm not stressing about money or anything. But I did do a financial audit just to see where I was, because I really wanted to be sure about that. So once I did that audit, I then was like, okay, here are my next few steps. So my next steps were finding out or developing my job search strategy. So this is where it was pretty interesting. So prior to me starting at the organization that I was at, that I was let go of, I had a very stressful job search. This was back in 2020. I was just leaving my first job, which was a 1-year fellowship. And I think I applied to maybe 50, 60 jobs. Like I was deep in it. I had my little spreadsheet, deep into it. And it was very stressful. It was so difficult for me. I got a lot of rejections, a lot of, you're not qualified because you don't have enough experience. Because I was 1 year out of grad school then. So that was a very stressful time. So I was like, for this job search, I'm gonna be a little bit different. I am gonna make my spreadsheet because I'm a spreadsheet girl. I'm gonna make my spreadsheet, and I did. I made my spreadsheet, but I was very particular about the positions that I would be applying for. I wasn't just gonna be applying for any and everything. I had more than 6 years of work experience under my belt. I have a master's degree. And I have a specific skill set and expertise that I feel like is very valuable. So I was going to hone in on what I'm good at and not just apply for things just because I feel like I just need a job. No, I wasn't going to do that. I was like, I'm going to be very intentional about what I'm doing. So I ended up within my job search applying for 25 jobs. I received 1 phone screening, 3 interviews, and 1 email request that came after the fact that I had accepted my new job. I had got an email requesting for an interview, so I'm still going to count that, but I technically was done with my job search during that time. Also, through those 25 jobs, I received 2 offers, or 3 job offers. 2 of them I declined. The last one, of course, I accepted, and that's the current job that I am working right now. The first 2 I rejected because I felt like it was aligned with what I wanted to do, but not 100%. It was only like, I would say maybe 25%. It was focused on data analytics, which was a skill of mine, but it really wasn't something I was like, oh, this is what I 100% want to do the entirety of my job or my whole day. And plus the pay wasn't where I envisioned myself being with the amount of experience that I had. So I ended up turning down both of those positions. It was very hard for me to do so because I was like, man, I spent a lot of time preparing for these interviews. I remember preparing for the first one. I was doing a lot of practicing. Anytime I was on the road, I was just, asking myself questions in my head, just going off my answers, memorizing what I said. I used Claude. Actually, AI was pretty good, pretty useful during this job search. I used Claude very heavily for my job search. I used it to help me work on my intro summaries for my resumes. I also helped it to determine my, the compatibility of my expertise based off my resume and then the job description of a job that I was applying for. I was like, hey, how qualified am I for this position? I forgot which prompt I used, but if I remember, I'll put it on the screen. And it was very useful. It gave me ideas about, how competitive I would be, any areas of the job description that may be something that I don't have and how I can navigate around talking around it or about that lack of having that particular item. And I also use Claude also to practice interviewing. So there's a way you can go in and Claude can pretend to be the interviewer and of course you the interviewee, and you can just go back and forth on questions. And it was very difficult. I mean, Claude was grilling me. I was like, dang, Claude, come on now. Give your girl a break. Give me a break now. I'm a little rusty in the interview process. Give me a break. But it was very useful during that time. So I recommend that if you don't want to bother your friends and family with practicing your interviewing, you can always use AI. So my job search experience was pretty much your typical job search. Like I said, I was laid off in March. In June, I started my new position. So April, May, June. So that was like almost 4 months of having a job search. And like I said, I had only had 3 interviews in 3 to 4 months. But those 3 interviews with 3 different organizations. Some of those interviews had multiple rounds of interviews. So I would probably say I technically maybe had like 6 or 7 actual interviews. One of the areas that for me with job search, because I was very particular and intentional also about where I did my job search. I focused a lot of my attention on LinkedIn. I utilized LinkedIn a lot, especially when it came to utilizing the premium version of LinkedIn. I did sign up for that, and I was able to, get an idea of what was out there, what I would be interested in. I became a master at the search engine and finding jobs that, I felt aligned with what I wanted to do. So that was my primary place of where I searched for jobs was LinkedIn. All right. And also that's where I found my current job that I work for on LinkedIn. It was an organization, actually funny thing. It was an organization, the organization I work for now. I actually had looked on their page for open positions during the week when I first got laid off, because I was like, oh, this organization, I remember them. They're sort of adjacent to the industry I'm in. They do sort of some of the work that I used to do in the organization. Let me see if they have any positions. At that time, they did not. But I remember going to their website and looking. I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And I was going through, and it was like, you can see who works with our staff. And I was going through the staff, and I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to work with them. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, they didn't have any positions at that time. So I was like, okay, bummer. I'll check back in. And also at that time, my mentor worked at their parent company. So this is when I get into the importance of community and mentorship programs, especially for Black women, people of color. So during my 6 years at the organization I was at, I participated, I think it was like 1 year, I participated in a mentorship that specifically connected Black women with non-Black women, specifically white women in the industry, or within the industry. And I had connected with this woman, this amazing woman, that worked at the parent company of the organization that I now currently work in. And she was wonderful. She was great. I remember when I first was connecting with her, I was going through a lot with my boss at that time. Me and my mentor was going through this plan. She was helping me basically develop my escape plan. Like, I was like, if I don't get moved from under this woman, this organization that I'm currently at, I am out of there. And she was very helpful with helping me talk through like understanding that I was in a toxic environment and basically helping me build my boundaries, because I had no boundaries. I had no boundaries. And she was helping me build my boundaries and helping me become more mature and more professional. And she was a very, very good ally, and currently still is a very good ally. Because after my mentorship program was up, we still connected, we still met, and we still talked. We sent each other emails, et cetera, et cetera. And then when I got laid off, I had reached out to her and told her what was happening. And I sent her my resume, and she said she would share it out with her colleagues or anybody else in the industry that she knew. And I thought that was very nice. And it was something that I'm like, wow, she didn't have to do that. Like, she could have been like, girl, I was your mentor 2-3 years ago. I don't want nothing to do with you no more. That program is done. But she didn't. Like, she didn't. And at that time, I didn't know if she was actually going to send it out to anybody or share it out or whatever. I was just very extremely thankful that she even took the time to, respond to my message and then ask about my resume. And so that interaction in itself gave me the boost of confidence that I needed to continue on with my job search, because I was like, I know that there are people that are supporting me, that know my character, that know who I am, that know my work ethic, and that's all I need. That's all I need, really. So that being said, I find it's very important to, if you have the opportunity, join mentorship programs. Mentorship programs have been extremely valuable to me. I've met a lot of amazing people during my mentorship program, and I just can't stress it enough. Like, when people say networking is important, it is important. Like, it is extremely important. I've met people during my mentorship program, and when I go out and I see them in conferences, I was like, oh, girl, I know you. And it's just so, I don't know, it's just so refreshing to see people that I know that are supporting me, supporting people that look like me, supporting other women within the industry that I was in, because you don't really see a lot of us there. So being able to be in mentorship, in the mentorship program, I feel like is very valuable. All right, so what am I doing now? So now, as of June, I am employed. Yes, I am. I'm employed. And I am employed at an amazing organization. I have an amazing team. I'm able to be challenged while also doing work that I find enjoyable. Um, I've been at this organization a little over a month now. And yes, I am so excited. Like I was kind of nervous because I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be my first organization that I'm at after 6 years of being at one. Like, what if it's the same thing again, but you know, in a different bow? But it's nothing like my old organization. It's absolutely nothing like that. It's so welcoming. It's so refreshing to not have to feel like you are fighting every single day for people to take you seriously. People take me seriously at my job, and that is amazing. Um, I am extremely thankful. I thank God every single night, every single day. Every time I wake up, I'm just extremely thankful that I'm able to work here at the organization I'm working at. Um, I'm also was extremely grateful that I was able to continue making what I was making at my old job, and continue the lifestyle that I had already established over the last 6+ years, basically. Um, so that was important to me. And it's especially important now because these student loans have started back up. My student loan payment was about $800 almost. I was like, yeah, I couldn't have even fathomed trying to pay my student loan payment with the other two jobs that I had declined salary. I would have been like, no, absolutely not. I cannot. No. So that's why I'm like, everything happens for a reason. It is important to have your standards, know what you are looking for, and stick with it. If I had went with any job just because it was a job offer, I feel like I would have been doing not only I would have been doing myself a disservice. And I would have been putting myself in a position where I probably would have been a little bit more stressed when it came to my finances now that my student loan payments have started back up. So I just found it was beneficial to stick to my standards and wait, and I'm glad I did because yeah. Let's see. So what is new or what is ahead or coming for me? So like I mentioned before, I had started my gaming channel. I'm going to continue to post the games I'm playing. I'm kind of playing a little bit of um, kind of people call them cozy games. It's more of just relaxing games. Like I'm playing a game called Outbound and Solar Punk and Subnautica. And it's just been really good. I'm also playing a game called No Man's Sky, but I don't think I'm going to post any video footage of that because that game takes a lot of power to run on my computer. And just recording it, I just spent a lot of time just doing things. Like I don't have a goal, so I was like, there's no need for me to record this video gameplay of me because I really don't have any goals. I'm just kind of doing whatever up there. So yeah, you might not get a recording of that gameplay, but you will get a recording of the other ones. So yeah, so I'm just gonna continue working on that channel. Also, working on this channel, The Art of Blooming. I decided that I'm going to basically put myself out there. For years, I've had this fear of being perceived on the internet, whether it was, the social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. I was not it. Like my Facebook barely up there. My Instagram, I probably post once a year. TikTok, yeah, yeah. But I decided this year that I was like, I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone and tell my story. I'm telling my story because I feel like that there's someone out there that is either going through what I've been going through or have went through what I've gone through, and seeing me talk about it would encourage them to also talk about it, because I just feel like it's so important. Like when I was going through the last 3 or 4 months, I was watching so many videos of women talking about, their layoff experience, what they're going through. Like they found a new job or they're still in the job search and they've decided to pivot and, do these other ventures. And I just found that so encouraging. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. Like being able to record yourself and put yourself out there and you're in a vulnerable state. I just felt that that was so empowering. And I was like, wow, I would love to do that too. I would love to do that too. I was so inspired. There's this one woman, her name is Renee. I'll link her channel in the description. And there is another woman, I don't know her name, but I know her channel is called Life in Numbers. But those two channels really encouraged me to basically start my YouTube channel. So if there's anyone out there that is looking for a reason, now's your reason. Do it. Don't worry about whether or not you have the fancy recording set up. Like, look at me. Look at my setup. It is not perfect. Don't worry about it. Do it messy, but do it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I don't know the cadence in which I will be uploading. I'm thinking of doing it maybe on a weekly basis, maybe monthly. I'm not sure. I plan on calling maybe a series. I think I'm going to call it the Blooming Check-ins, where I kind of just talk about, what's going on in my life and yeah, pass on some words of encouragement. But yeah, that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.